What's the most twisted way your parents showed they loved you? For me, it was a spreadsheet. My mom, an ex-accountant who quit her job to raise us, kept a literal record of every cent she ever spent on me since I was born. I'm not exaggerating. She built a color-coded, tabbed, year-by-year spreadsheet that totaled my debt down to the penny. And starting at age 10, I had to start repaying her with acts of love. Mom used to brag that she never wanted to end up like her parents, who died broke and drowning in debt. So she took control of everything. Dad? He was just a background character who shrugged and said, "Your mom loves in her own way," anytime I tried to complain. My 10th birthday is burned into my brain. Instead of cake and balloons, I got a binder. Inside, the full cost of raising me so far, starting with the $847 hospital delivery bill, all the way to $73,000 in food. She even factored in 3.5% interest, compounded monthly. And then she smiled and explained her system. A hug, that's $5 credit. Saying "I love you" earned me $10. Good grades ranged from $50 to $100 depending on the subject. Chores? She paid me market rate, which she researched weekly. She even showed me the app she built to track it all. At first, I thought it was just one of her bizarre life lessons. But no, she actually enforced it. After every hug, she'd whip out her phone and update my love debt. Sundays turned into love audit day. We'd sit at the dining table going over the week's transactions. My younger brother turned it into a competition. He'd do extra chores to climb the affection scoreboard. My older sister, Lauren, just stared blankly whenever Mom brought it up. She bolted the moment she turned 18, leaving behind a $412,000 debt. By the time I was 13, I was budgeting my emotions, strategizing when to say "I love you" depending on what I needed. When I got my first period, I asked Mom to talk to me about it. She agreed, but said it would cost me $50 an hour for emotional support. I sat there crying while she typed notes into her laptop, explaining that therapists charge for their time, and so should mothers. It got darker by 16. I had spreadsheets for my friendships, tracking who owed who what in time, effort, and loyalty. My boyfriend bought me dinner once, and I panicked, calculating what debt I now owed him. Mom started adding disappointment penalties, retroactive charges going back years. She charged for every parent-teacher conference, every school event, every bedtime story. And worst of all, she started teaching the system to other parents in our neighborhood who called it brilliant. Then came my 17th birthday. That's when she introduced her final rule. If my balance crossed $500,000 by the time I turned 18, she would emotionally foreclose and file for legal emancipation. I'd no longer be her child. She showed me the spreadsheet. With all her hidden fees, I was already at $487,000. That night, I hit my limit. At dinner, I told her I was declaring emotional bankruptcy. No more hugs. No more fake smiles. I spoke only when necessary. I refused to play the game. For the first time in my life, I felt free. I hugged friends without calculating cost. Accepted love without wondering what it would cost me back. Mom looked frozen, like someone had pulled the plug on her mainframe. She stopped asking for payments. Even made my favorite dinner without billing me. I actually thought, maybe she finally got it. Then it happened. A process server showed up at my school, in front of everyone. Handed me legal papers. She was suing me. In actual small claims court. The charge? Breach of implied contract. She had 7 years of signed weekly ledger reviews, digital records of every transaction, and recordings from our family meetings. The judge nodded along while my school counselor tried to testify. But Mom's lawyer shut it down. Hearsay. Then my dad took a stand. And said I was a bad investment. Defended his ledger balance. Other neighborhood parents praised her system, saying it made their kids more accountable. I was sitting there, mentally mapping out which homeless shelter would take me, when my boyfriend's mom stood up in the gallery. Turns out, she's a contract lawyer. She explained that minors can't enter binding contracts. Then she helped me build a reverse ledger, tracking all the emotional labor I'd provided for 18 years. We used standard therapy rates. When it was all totaled up, Mom owed me $2.3 million. The judge tossed out the case. And we reported Mom to the IRS for the unreported cash payments she'd received from teaching other families her method. I technically won. But honestly, it didn't feel like a win. Not really. Because love should never come with a receipt.